A federal judge in New Hampshire has blocked President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship, reviving the legal battle over the administration's efforts to challenge the long-standing law. Judge Joseph LaPlante said a lawsuit challenging the president's executive order can move forward as a class action. He said his decision would apply nationwide to babies who've been affected by President Trump's policy. The US Constitution sets out that people born in the US are automatically citizens. The ruling tests lower courts' abilities to issue nationwide decisions after the US Supreme Court ruled that the state and local judges could not block federal policies. The civil rights group behind the case had wanted the class to include some adults too, but their lawyers say the slightly narrower scope doesn't make a difference. Our North America correspondent Arunade Mukherjee has the latest.
Well, this is important because what this does is potentially opens the gates to further legal battles when it comes to the contentious issue of birthright citizenship here in the US. Now, what you have here is a federal judge from New Hampshire who essentially has now ruled to block the ability of the Trump administration in enforcing an executive order which denies birthright citizenship to babies born in the US to undocumented parents and foreign visitors. Why this is also important is because just a few weeks ago, the Supreme Court had ruled limiting the ability of lower court judges from blocking presidential orders from being enforced across the country. Now, the only way to have challenged this and the only legal avenue that was available was through class action lawsuits, which is what we see happening over here. Now, the American Civil Liberties Union has filed this, and it is this case which has been seen as a class action lawsuit on which the federal judge has now ruled. The argument that's been given by the American Civil Liberties Union essentially is that if you deny birthright citizenship to these babies, well, then that is unconstitutional because the American Constitution guarantees birthright citizenship. Now, that is where things stand. But the White House certainly not happy with the sequence of events. In fact, in a statement, they have challenged the validity of the judge's ruling, and I just want to read out some of the operative parts of their statement, saying today's decision is an obvious and unlawful attempt to circumvent the Supreme Court's clear order against universal relief. The judge's decision disregards the rule of law by abusing class action certification procedures. They also go on to suggest that the Trump administration will be fighting vigorously against the attempts of these rogue district court judges to impede policies President Trump was elected to implement. So given these kind of strong statements, this is certainly an issue which continues to simmer.